Yeah.
Well, there we go. See if we were right or we were wrong. G'day, punters. Welcome to the mailbag, previewing I better put my hat on, which you can not buy, but you might be able to buy soon. They're mint hats. They're great hats. Beautiful operation for summer, which isn't a good selling point given we've just come out of summer.
Play on. Advantage.
Righto. Big fat Group 1 meeting at Australia's best racetrack. I don't know what rating would be on if we were, copping the sort of deluge that they're copping in the northern states, and thoughts do go out to anyone who's getting hammered by it at the moment. But we're going to talk about Flemington. We're going to talk about God's carpet, which is Flemington, Peter. Are you excited to get on a big jumbo and get yourself over here?
I was about to say, have you looked at the forecast for Saturday? Has Jackson sent you the Jane Bunn grouse?
I've looked, right, but I don't...
20 to 35 millimetres of rain forecast.
I have lived in Melbourne for over 5 years. What they say on a Thursday morning about a Saturday is almost irrelevant. I will back the best horses. If I'm only going to have 2 bets on this show, and I'm confident they sort of handle a bit of give. And if they don't, I think that they'd scratch. So, not going to grey myself up Oldham style with the Bunn data, the Jane Bunn data. Just going to right now it's hot. I just went to the beach, so.
All I'm saying is be prepared. Like the Scouts, be prepared, because you just never know when someone's just going to give you the finger. What are we talking about? Flemington.
Yeah, a little bit of dirty shit there. Anyway, before we kick off, we're powered by puntingform.com.au, Australia's #1 database, the database we all use. You should too. Head to puntingform.com.au if you want to take yourself a little bit more seriously. And also the Mailbag Bloodstock pistol. We've got 2 horses for sale right now. Head to mailbagbloodstock.com.au. We've got a fresh yearling, 1-year-old by Exceed and Excel side, a stack of Golden Slipper winners, most of them fillies, just like ours. As can be trained by Kieran Maher and Dave Eustace. That beautiful little girl is on her way to Wangaratta to jump into the Maher Eustace system. We've also got a 2-year-old who's ready to race and will be racing Floods pending very soon. That's a Spieth 2-year-old which Curls bought from Aquas. And it'll be trained by Curly or Costa on the Gold Coast. So mailbagbloodstock.com.au if you want to race horses with us. And also we've got Mounting Our Mail Pistol in Victoria.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, Moonee Valley. I am doing it.
I'll probably be there.
Little taste for it. That's what I was thinking. A little bit of taste for it. Last Saturday, Blue Diamond Day, I said, Jacko, can I have the Valley? You can have the big dance. He said, sure. And I was hoping, I was going to ask you now on the show, it's going to be you and I. So basically, on Friday night, you're going to get Mounting Up Mail from Pistol and me, and also some bets, probably earlier, from Jackson and I. So, and you get Mounting Up Mail from on Saturday at Flemington. So if you want that, themailbag.com.au. Pistol, let's talk about Race 7 Flemington, the Australian Guineas, 3-year-old, 600 metres, Group 1. And it's bigger and it's better than normal because of the deluge, of the rain, the precipitation that's ruined the Sydney tracks, and the good horses are coming south.
Including the favourite Profondo, $4.60. You've got Hitotsu, one of my old mates, $5.50, Cap Devant or Cop Devant, $6.50, Pinstriped, $8.50. If you got U10, goes deeper than that as well.
The starting point, Pistol, I think, is a speed map.
Yes.
We've got a big field, a big racetrack, 600 metres shoot start there, out the back, along right across from the grandstand. They jump and they just get into a sort of a fairly long but gentle bend and curve. I think Lightsaber gets a good run with Rhinoceros from 4 and 5. I think Passero from 7 rolls forward. But they're not going to dig themselves right up. Then there's horses like Maurice's, My Dad, Zarel, Coastwatch, Profondo. They might try and go forward, I reckon, from those gates, particularly if the track's sort of looking like it favours on-pace horses, which half the time it could. It does. I don't know where Pinstriped and Cap Devant get to from 10 and 11. Hitotsu from 2. How much intent do you expect first up over 600 metres in a Group 1 off winning at Derby?
Yeah, wouldn't think very much.
So, like, you could sort of see Hitotsu, Corona Lad, Allegron, sort of flush. They're right out the back rails and run. I thought Spirited Gaylord might get a nice run. I thought its trial leading into the probably poor performance at Caulfield its 2 trials were really, really sharp. It's got a nice SP profile versus Forgot You. Probably should have beaten it at Moonee Valley going back to last prep. I think it gets a good run from 11, from barrier 8. I think Forgot You inside it gets a really good run from barrier 6 with the big boy Mark Zara steering. I think that Ranch Hand's going to be thereabouts, sort of midfield or worse, and a really hard horse to profile. But it's Chris Waller, so it's very scary. Like this is a 1200 metre horse, was it? Now it's in a Group 1 over a mile. Sharp response is hard to knock, and Pricks to Turn. I think it goes back from 16, but it won pretty well last start. So I think Lightsabers had enough things go wrong that I'm happy to risk at the price. I think it'll soften. It was very firm last start and then didn't start.
Yep.
I think Pinstripe's going to see a really different race again and be tested in a way it hasn't been tested yet, and I think it'll drift slightly. The map's really, really tricky for it. I think the 2 horses to back, particularly the 1 horse to back's number 4, Forgot You. Second up, Miles suits, Zara suits. Pretty bomb-proof map, however this track's racing. And I think Spirited Gaylord at 51 plus, could be 100s at fair come the jump. You just have to have something on for your mental health. Race 3 is a 1200 metre benchmark 90. It's an interesting race because there's some decent sort of carnival horses that probably want further resuming, like Bermudez, etc. And then we've got Rose Quartz, who's developing a pretty potent track and trip profile here, Peter.
Yep, indeed. I think probably the key thing here is the speed up front, isn't it? As with every race down the straight, you get all sorts of varying tempos. I'm not seeing a great deal of speed, are you?
No, I'm not. And we always harp on about it. You want to be, I think, midfield or better.
Yep.
I think especially when there's no speed. I think Rose Quartz from 4 does whatever it wants, doesn't it? I think Bonds Abroad's a player here. I think Bermudez isn't a player over 1200 metres. Could be wrong, but I think it's going to be a little bit further back than you want. I'm happy to risk it. I think Rainbiel is a talented horse who's going to get a good map, but I don't think it's a track and trip horse. Do you?
Yeah, it hasn't had the start yet, has it? No race down the straight. That's going to be a concern to some degree.
It's been to Flemington once. So it's not a track and trip horse, but you can't sort of pen it.
Yeah.
But it's had a lot of opportunities to run wherever it wanted to run, and it hasn't been here. I think I can risk it at the price. I think you can just back Rose Quartz in. You can be pretty confident. I'm tipping race 3, number 9, Rose Quartz.
Yep. Yeah, I can't
Anything
disagree with that. No, I'm looking at the data, and yeah, looks difficult to get past.
Race 5 is the Inglis Sprint, 1200 metres down the straight. This is not a listed sort of wanky race, but it's a big prize money race. $750,000 here. This is a proper race. All these horses you'd think are sort of ready to go, despite some of these Sydney siders like coming down. I think that's just a coincidence. This is a big prize money opportunity for plenty of horses. Would they be racing for near this if they weren't from Inglis sales? Probably not.
No.
Speed map, well in sight, Zatirita, Spellcatcher, Lord Paramount, and Pegasus, the sort of front runners. Baranoff, Sneaky 5 thereabouts. I think Overpass gets a real good suck run midfield or better just off the speed, and nice and grandstand side from 13. He's exceptional, a little bit worse. The Bugle, Art of Flying, Able Willie, and Shadow Devil sort of back. Does Overpass just win?
Just win. Jeez. Firing up pretty early. Is that the general figures that you're looking at? The Sydney form, just combining it all, beyond Baker, going well?
Oh, starting point. Like when I don't know some of these horses is the market. Like I think Overpass has a huge map edge versus Able Willie.
Yep.
I had one start down the straight, which was over the 1200 metres in a Group 1 Coolmore Stud Stakes where it runs 6 to Home Affairs. That's like this is as good as it gets, isn't it, for this race?
Yep.
I think just don't overthink it. It's a perfect ride for like a rider, like no knock Josh Parr, but he doesn't know what he's doing down the straight versus some of these locals. But the straight races are I think the easiest races to ride on when you've got a horse with some speed. I think it's tricky when you're sort of back and buried. But he's got 13. Very rare chance that they all sort of charge to the outside fence and he can't get through the outside fence. But more often than not, they're going to be midfield, like centre of the straight here, at his favourite, or even inside, and he's going to get all the air he needs.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think Overpass will be winning.
Okay. I'm leaning to sneaky 5 at the price. I'd want to see the horse parading forward enough, but it has won first up both preparations. Only had the 4-star, slightly raced Linda Meach on board. I like. Has ridden the horse previously to a win at odds at Caulfield. First start down the straight's probably a small concern, but, you know, Mar Oustis, good starting point, like Linda Meach.
And it kicked off on that soft track at Moonee Valley and then backed up and won again in the soft track at Rose Hill. So, yeah, fair enough. All right, which is the next race? The Blamey Stakes, 1,600 metres, Group 2, Peter.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, Peter. What do you like here?
Well, this is a race that I really don't want to get involved with at all.
You can't be serious. This is a certainty. This will win. Zaki shouldn't be $2.
It should be what? $1 something? Should be $8.
$3.50. It's not a horse you can trust, I don't think. It came down to Melbourne and it won at Sandown, then threw the towel into Probabile at Caulfield. Then whatever happened in the Cox Plate, it's a big grey up. It looks like a horse with a few issues. Everyone's on and on about this big Doomben figure. Like it beat Toffee Tongue. What?
Look, I don't
seriously,
disagree. I was with you last prep.
Toffee Tongue.
Yeah.
Like, out of that race, out of the Doomben Cup that everyone, like, Roden's always loving the Doomben Cup rating. He says that's why people price it that the way they price it off the Doomben Cup figure. Is that right?
Yep.
There's been one horse that's come out of that race and won since. Zaki.
Okay.
I just think you have to bet against it when it takes up so much of the market.
Yeah.
Like, could well and truly shit him, but like it's $2, $10, $2.20. I think Inspirational Girl, blinkers on, D-Lane, Danny O. Danny O needs to step up and deliver for Uncle Bob. He needs to give Bob what Bob wants, and that's big wins on big days to get more beast good horses.
And it must be said, the CF4 form stacked up all right so far. There's only been 4 runners, and obviously they've only raced in 2 different races, but you've had the winner in both.
Well, Sierra Sue had the opportunity to improve its figure and did, and pissed in. Dropped him. Dropped a really good miler and on Thunderstruck. Said, see you later, mate. Cascadian, they walked, and it pissed in, I think. Like, it was going to win from as soon as it got out.
Yep.
Tofane didn't win, but it maintained a big number, and on Thunderstruck improved its figure. I think Inspirational Girl is the easiest bet of all time to have. This is for me, stress-free gambling. It's just a very good horse with a 1,600 metre peak, right? Big tick. Big time rider, big tick. Blinkers on, intent, huge tick. Oh, it's second up this prep, massive tick. 21 days, big tick. Up in trip, big tick. It's a simple bet to have if you're safe. I was going to say you can back it each way. I'm just gonna pound this thing on the nostrils. I think it's going to win.
Okay.
I think it's a great bet.
You don't like Mr. Brightside or Corner Pocket?
Don't like Corner Pocket at all. Petrified Mr. Brightside. I think it's the horse that just sort of, you can't knock it. It just keeps delivering.
Yep.
I like it a lot. But like the Ponduses, Luna Foxes, they can knock me. Like King Magnus. No, come on, Peter Pan. Keep it serious. Inspirational Girl's a proper Group 1 horse. I think Mr. Brightside's a proper Group 1 horse. Zaki is a proper Group 1 horse. But it's priced off a race where there's not been one winner from, and it's been almost a year.
Yeah. I'd be inclined to say Mr. Brightside with the map in its favour. I'd be leaning that way over Inspirational Girl.
Get Out Stakes, race 9, 600 metres again, benchmark 84. It's basically the Yonts race, Pistol. We see Yonts go for, is it 4 straight, my man?
Yeah, it's going for 5 in a row. 5 from 5.
5 in a row. I was against it last start, and I was wrong. Really wrong.
Yeah, Yonts.
Yeah. Here's why this horse isn't as easy for me to back, but I think he's going to win. It's not up in trip. It stayed at 600 metres, where it kind of looked like it wanted to go up in trip to me. It's now getting to, it's slightly, it's been up for a while. It is fucking Kiramar and Dave Oosters, so they can do that. It is the reason I'm not betting yet. John Allen, barrier 2, maybe worse in midfield. This has like the last favourite at Flemington, car crash, punters, spew written all over it. Held up, flashes. Did it get there? I think this will be a really tight finish. I think he probably wins. I think Divine Diosa from barrier 3 gets a beautiful, beautiful run. Do you?
Yes, it does. But I'm just going to simplify this even further for you. Okay, so hypothetically, if Perfect John Allen from gate 2, if they jump at the same speed as Basawa, I'm probably butchering that. Basawa. If they jump at the same,
say it real fast.
Basawa.
Yeah.
If they jump at the same speed, he's on the outside. He's off the fence. Done. Game over. If he settles behind Basawa, it's going pretty well. Basawa. It's third favourite. It's got good figures coming out of Morfettville. All you're basically relying is Basawa to take it into the race to a certain degree. It's Flemington. They should spread out. I don't know how much challenge there will be for the lead, just given the fact that you've got Gentleman Roy and Portland Jimmy drawn 6 and 8. I think they'll probably just roll forward, and I'm not sure any of the wide gates are going to try and challenge or come across here. It might very well just be a rack and stack, and you just need to get a bit of momentum. Perfect John. He won on Sierra Sioux last week from inside gate. What's your problem?
It's an inside gate with a tiny field.
What I'm saying.
I think Nicole Vito's flying. Hate the map. Gentleman Roy is flying.
Yeah.
Can win. I'm just saying. I think Yonts will win, but I also think you're probably favourite to see a bit of a car crash. Now, this horse probably good enough to get out of like a little prang. But if it's a proper collision and there's you need to get their details, he's fucked. Should we talk about our betting plans, Peter? Because what are we doing for the remainder of the autumn carnival as a big race is coming, and more importantly, as Hutcho brings that man bun back to Victoria? What are we doing, baby?
Head to head, you versus me. Me versus you.
What are we playing for? We didn't talk about this off the air.
Mate versus mate, state versus state. That's a good question. What can we play for?
Here's my suggestion. Just came to me right now. The loser has to pay for a suit that we've both got to get a suit fitted, and then dinner.
Wowee.
It's big.
It's big.
It's big.
It's decent cash. Yeah, all right, let's do it.
Yes. Righto. Fuck. I should have thought about what I was doing more here. Okay. My bets, Peter. My bets. I'm going to have...
Oh, more than one. Here we go. A little bit
I'm
shaky
gonna
to begin
have
with.
$150 on Inspirational Girl at 4. I'll take 450, say.
Yep.
And I'm going to have $50 on race 3, number 9, Rose Quartz, into race 5, number 1, Overpass.
Yes.
Into
This is
Race
riveting.
9, number 10, Yonts.
Okay.
3-leg all up, $50. We'll figure out the numbers for you. What are you doing?
I'm going to have 100 straight out, Mr. Brightside.
Oh,
Yeah. And 100
Fuck you,
straight out,
buddy.
Mr. Brightside into Yonts.
oh yes. Fuck. This is really good. Just so if you're following at home, I almost forgot you in the Guineas.
I've also got like a massive handicap here, given that I'm not even doing any Victorian form, but I'll have to now.
Yeah, but I'd say I'm happy to admit I think Peter's better than me, so it levels out. If you're out there, come and say good day. Maybe have a dart with me. Up to you. We have an event at the Stinger in Abbotsford, All-Star Mile Day, the Elephant Party, also Golden Slipper Day. I think tickets are free. We've got Gareth Hall, Terence Bailey, myself, Pistol, Roden, and the boys, all the interns. Phones are going to be put into a big like footy bag at the door. There'll be no recording devices. We're just going to let rip and have a big day. So if you want to get involved, there'll be a link. Otherwise, have a good week on the punt. Bye for now.